I've been back from America for a number of weeks now and find myself on familiar ground here on the River Test. The time has given me a chance to reflect on the trip, and what I want to do in this video is tell you about the highs and lows of a Brit travelling from the UK to fish in America. So, without further ado, let's get into it. If you've been following the channel the last few weeks, you'll see that Ian and I both caught some pretty impressive salmon in what can only be described as one amazing river.
All things pass.
Not a bad fish.
Drop down and face the wind. Always look beyond the setting sun.
This is a typical example of I've now set Lindsay up and shown him how to fish. He's catching fish and all I've been doing is filming it. I'm going home.
True talent never shows. It's easier to fool the ones you know. But if you wanna see me there, just hold on to the notion of my heart. Will you ever sing out loud? Will faces start to turn to see who sang? I remember what you said the first time that I saw you in the band. Worn out and thrown away, taken off the tracks and led astray. There's still time to set things straight. A million ways to ease up on the hate. Will you ever sing out loud? Will faces start to turn to see who sang? I remember what you said the first time that I saw you in the band.
What a crocodile. Superb. Well, I've just landed the biggest fish I've ever landed in my life. It was thanks to the gentleman next to me. That's one of the advantages of people fishing close together. You know, when you hook a good fish, they can really help you out by landing it. There is no way on this planet I would have landed that by myself, so I'm very grateful for the assistance. And I'm just going to take a moment now to let it sink in. The Pierre Marquette is blessed with a varied population of fish, from king salmon, which we enjoyed during our stay, to steelhead, rainbows and of course brown trout. Not only that, but the river itself is not unlike the Test. It is a river of great beauty, especially when we went, at a time of year when the leaves on the trees started to turn many shades of golden browns to yellows just before their fall. Let's talk about the trip itself. We had planned to go on this trip before the world was turned on its head. After more flight time changes than you can shake a stick at, we eventually got on a flight heading to Detroit on a Sunday morning. Travelling takes up the entire day and you lose 5 hours due to the time difference from the UK. It is a long way to go, and I would say that you need to go for at least a week to justify the travel time. Let's talk about the things I loved. The roads, although Ian did all of the driving, were generally very good. Even once off the interstate, the roads are wide and in good repair. I guess that's to accommodate the huge trucks that folks favour in rural Michigan. The vehicles are hugely impressive. Fuel is reasonable, unlike back home, where you are considering a second mortgage to fill the car. The people were super friendly and could not be more helpful. The river was very busy the entire time we were there, and on some days there were anglers a couple of rod lengths either side. I was not so keen on this, but that can wait till we come on to the things that were not so good. All the time we were there, I never heard a cross word from another angler. Folks were usually courteous and mostly downright friendly. Many were quick to come to your aid to help land a fish or take a picture. The thing that impressed me the most though, and I was really heartened to see, was the amount of families that came down to the river together. Kids being shown the ropes from fathers and other family members, and generally just having a good time by the river and unplugged. It was great to see, and if you were a member of the family fishing just upstream from me on the Sunday, may I compliment you on your excellent taste in music. It kept me entertained all afternoon. Folks, if you're enjoying the videos, please don't forget to leave them a like and consider subscribing to the channel for weekly fly fishing content. Thanks for your support. The trip was mostly amazing. I mean, what's not to like? Access to the river was easy. You could park a short walk from the river banks for a mere $5 a day. Minutes later, you were walking the banks of the Pierre Marquette. It did not really matter where you stopped, you could see salmon in front of you. I wish I had tied up more flies. I ended up either borrowing flies from Ian or buying them in the numerous local tackle shops. This was not a cheap affair, I might add. With the river being so busy, you had to get up before the light and make your way to the river, and a couple of times Ian and I found ourselves standing in the dark for an hour in order to lay claim to 20 feet of river. Even after that, it was not uncommon for latecomers to shoehorn themselves into a spot right next to you. Now, this one might seem strange, but foul hooking fish a lot, it was difficult not to at times. A foul hooked fish would mostly bend your hook out, or worse, just destroy your cast. Well, I suppose the question then is, would I return to Michigan to fish for king salmon again? And the answer's fairly straightforward, and it's no. I've done that. I really enjoyed the experience, but that's not to say I wouldn't want to return to Michigan and the Pierre Marquette. Apparently it has an amazing population of brown trout, which I would love to try and go and fish for. I would also like to give the steelhead a go. Apparently they attack the fly much more aggressively, and I may well get a date in the calendar for March 24. I'll start saving my pennies and see what my wife says.